Hi, this is Dr. Lifton from Brainsplained. I did want to talk about fighting because I told my son I would talk about fighting. He wanted to not have fights with someone, which is a bad plan. So I wanted to go over the best fighting and the worst fighting and thinking about which sort of fighting we should be doing. The best kind of fighting would be when I'm fighting with my wife. You know, obviously I love her and she loves me and we want to be together and be happy, but she sees one thing and I see something else. That's the cause of fights, disagreement about something. In this scenario, if I win, she loses. And if I love her, I don't want her to lose. That's no good. And if she wins and I lose, well, that's no good either. If she and I are equal partners and either one of us loses and the other one wins, we did nothing. We're at zero. What you took from one and you get nowhere. Winning a fight with my wife is a losing proposition. It's a bad idea and I shouldn't. Something else has to occur. You have to process it differently. If a fight has started, you need mechanisms for the fight to be resolved, and the fight has to be resolved in a positive way. When we fight, it is 100% my fault. I can control that. That's my job. I can control that it is 100% my fault. I can say, look, this was 100% my fault. I am terribly sorry. I feel bad that you're hurt and I want to make you feel better. Let's talk about what I can do to fix this situation. I know that I'm 100% in the wrong because if I were better, I would have known, right? If I was, and I'm going to idealize somebody, but if I was Gandhi, I would have known 3 days ago, before this fight even happened, that you were going to get upset. I would have been prepared for it, and I would have avoided the whole thing before it even ever started. And so I'm just not that great. I'm not like saintly, so that's why it was failure. And you may be thinking, oh no, wait, that's no good. You're always going to give up. But that's not what happens. What happens is, if I have a fight with my wife, the rules apply to her. And this is also 100% her fault. Because if she was Mother Teresa, she would have known 3 days ago that I was going to get upset. She would have seen it coming. And she would have prevented it before it ever happened. And we never would have had a fight. So it's 100% my fault. And it's also 100% her fault. There's my 100%, that's me. And there's her 100%, that's her. And I have faith in her. I know that she is doing her very best all time, all day, all the time to do what she can to be good. So am I. She's trying to grow. So am I. She can only grow so fast and, you know, everybody fails sometime. Is she working on doing her 100% at this very minute? Well, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't matter. She does her 100% much of the time. Most of the time. Almost all the time. Sometimes I'm not doing my 100% and sometimes she's not doing her 100%. And sometimes we're both doing our 100%. One of us has to have enough faith in the other person that they're doing the best they can to help the relationship go forward, to grow and to help the relationship to grow. When I have a good fight, when I listen and I hear what the problem is, I can understand something that I didn't understand before, and my wife can understand something that she didn't understand before, and we can learn more about each other. I can say, oh, I see what happened. That made you feel bad. I can't believe it. Okay, that made you feel bad because you think you're a bad person. I'm so sorry. I can genuinely get to the point I need to get to. I can genuinely understand her perceptions, her weakness, her frailty, and I can be there for her and I can help her. I can try to help her through it. Or she can find mine, or we can both find each other's. And then the fight ends and then intimacy has been increased. We are closer together. And that was the point of the whole thing. The whole point of the fight, the whole point of fighting with each other is to get to that. That's what you're doing. You're not beating someone up. You're not annihilating them. You're not winning. You're not getting points. This isn't somebody that you want to destroy. You're learning who they are so that you know them better, so that you can be there more, so that you can enhance intimacy. Why be married? Why marry someone and be with them for 40 years? After 40 years of fighting, you get to learn who they are. You know them so deeply because you've grown so close, because each time you fought, you went to resolution. You went to conflict resolution. You went to understanding. You went to compassion. One of you got there. Sometimes both of you get there. This is the best fight, that kind of fight. That's what you should be striving for. You should be striving for using the fight for the purpose of understanding this person better, learning about them, and creating conflict resolution, creating compassion and understanding and healing. And then let's switch to the worst fight. The worst fight is the fight in military situations or something similar to that. And you're at war. And your enemy is there, and they're going to kill you. You should shoot them dead. You need to shoot them dead before they shoot you. One of you is going to die, and it better be them and not you, and you should do it as quickly as possible, and you should shoot them dead. That's the worst kind of fight. And there's no time to talk and negotiate, and there isn't any understanding their point of view. You know, they want you dead. As a civilian, you probably won't really ever encounter that. So that's the best, and that's the worst. And then there's everything in between, which is, on a dial, which is a spectrum. And when I'm fighting with somebody who's not my wife, then I have to figure out, where is this person on this spectrum? Where are they in terms of, is this a very close friend? I want to stay friends with these people forever. Is this not such a close friend? Is this just a neighbor I want to be cordial with? Because how much effort I want to spend, because the fighting with my enemy is the least effort. All I'm going to do is shoot. That's it. All I'm putting into this. My fight with my wife, all my energy goes into it. I might spend hours on it. I'm not going to spend hours fighting with a business acquaintance. That's not worth it. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to win, because that's irrelevant. Whether I win or I lose a fight with somebody isn't particularly important to me. It's about how much effort should I be putting into this, and is this a situation in which I can have this discussion, this negotiation, in a way that's going to be productive, in a way that's going to enhance intimacy and create understanding. I think a lot of people are forgetting a lot of the ways that you're supposed to fight, because I think a lot of times a lot of us are feeling a little bit dehumanized, and so we're not reacting to people the way we should. And I'm seeing a great loss in that area compared to 30 years ago. And it's interesting because this inability to fight properly goes hand in hand with the decline in happiness that's been happening, because happiness has been going down in the United States for the last 25 years, and with the increase in deaths of despair, which has been going up for the last 25 years. I think that's all linked. We're not in a position to be wanting a conflict resolution. So avoiding fights completely, never fighting, that should be done with the people that you care the least about. If the goal of the fight, if the reason I'm having an argument with you is to create intimacy, if that's the whole point, assuming I don't want you dead, assuming that there's not much point in winning, okay, because winning has very little to do with anything. The energy I invest in a good fight has to do with what the value is of us growing closer together. So not wanting to fight with the people you're closest with is exactly backwards. And not wanting to fight with the people you're not close with is what you want to do. I hope that's brains planed, and I'll see you Friday.